Crown. It is the most honored accomplishment in the world of thoroughbred racing. Only 11 3-year-olds in 114 years have been able to win the mile-and-a-quarter Kentucky Derby on the first Saturday in May. The Preakness Stakes at Old Pimlico 2 weeks later at a mile and 3/16. And then the mile-and-a-half Belmont Stakes to complete the 5-week sweep of the racing classics. A Triple Crown turns a great racehorse into a legend. The first was Sir Barton in 1919. In the 1930s, there were 3 that earned the crown: Gallant Fox, Omaha, and War Admiral. The 40s would provide the most Triple Crown champions in a single decade: 4, Whirlaway, Count Fleet, Assault, and Citation. Racing then waited through 2 decades for Secretariat, Triple Crown winner of 1973. And then in succession came Seattle Slew and Affirmed in 1978, the last to wear the crown. 11 other thoroughbreds have tried but failed here at the Belmont Stakes to complete the triple. And now racing's last chance for a Triple Crown winner in the decade of the 80s is this courageous black colt from California, Sunday Silence. Will he become racing's 12th thoroughbred to earn the Sportive King's crown? Is he good enough to be among the racing legends? We will find out today in the 121st running of the Triple Crown's oldest event, the test of the champion, the Belmont Stakes. Budweiser racing across America. Live from New York, it's the Belmont Stakes Special. This ESPN sports presentation is brought to you by Budweiser, Beechwood Age for that clean, crisp taste. This Bud's for you. By Ford New Holland and your Ford New Holland dealers. By Siemens for leading-edge technology. The name is Siemens. Caesar's Palace, Las Vegas. Relive the legend. And by 3 Chimneys. The idea is excellent. The preview show of Sunday Silence's bid for racing's Triple Crown is next on ESPN.
For taking charge, for taking pride, for showing what you got inside, for taking time, for staying true, for stepping in, for coming through this buzz for you.
Beechwood Aged for the taste so crisp and clean, so refreshing. It's the king of beers.
This buzz for you.
Introducing a completely different kind of ride. Not just a sleek new exterior, much more. Like tighter cornering, a wider stance, a sensitive steering system that improves feel and speed. And our all-new interior was designed by people who obviously understand quality and convenience. Experience the comfort and excitement of a thoroughbred at Thistledown. Get on the right track at Thistledown.
We're on the move, leading the way to a better tomorrow through innovations in telecommunications, medical systems, power generation, automotive electronics, components, and automation. With over 28,000 employees at 400 locations coast to coast. We are Siemens.
For more than 4 decades, the Keeneland Thoroughbred Sales have produced a parade of classic winners, including 39 American champions. Horses purchased at Keeneland have won all of the classic races worldwide and the richest prizes in thoroughbred racing. 1988 champions Winning Colors, Risen Star, and Ali Sheba all were bought at the Keeneland Sales in Lexington, Kentucky, source of the classic horse.
We're live at Belmont Park, New York, where today excitement and anticipation are running high as the thoroughbred racing world prepares for a possible coronation of its first Triple Crown champion since 1978. As the Kentucky Derby and Preakness winners Sunday Silence and 9 other 3-year-olds accept the challenge of the test of the champion, the Belmont Stakes. And hello again, everyone. I'm Chris Lincoln as we welcome you to an absolutely perfect day in New York. After a week of rain, the sun is out, a warm breeze is blowing, and miraculously, we've got a fast racetrack for this third jewel of the Triple Crown. Our Belmont preview coverage will also have a live race for you, the Hempstead Handicap, another Grade 1 event on the card this afternoon. But the attention is on the 8th race. Here are the conditions of running for the Belmont Stakes. It is the oldest of the Triple Crown races, the 121st running. $500,000 added. They'll go 1.5 miles. That's farther than they've ever run before, these 3-year-olds carrying 126 pounds, one time around America's largest racetrack. Well, you know the stories. Sunday Silence and Easy Goer. They've been ding-donging it 1-2 through the Kentucky Derby and the Preakness. People are saying this could be a rivalry as great as Affirmed and Aladar. Let's look back. 1978, our last Triple Crown winner. It's Affirmed and Aladar again.
It's Aladar and Affirmed battling back along the inside. We'll test these two to the wire. Affirmed under a left-hand whip. Aladar on the outside driving. Affirmed and Aladar heads apart. Affirmed's got a nose in front as they come onto the wire.
Well, that was the classic race caller, Chick Anderson. We've got a classic race caller with us, Tom Durkin. Tom, everybody's talking about the rivalry. Is it as big as Affirmed and Aladar?
Well, Chris, it's not quite Affirmed and Aladar yet. Those two rivals clashed 8 times before they met in the Belmont Stakes. I think a lot of people would like to see a stretch run like that again, and a lot of people would like to see a Triple Crown winner, but it's pretty difficult. It's the most difficult task in all of American racing. 3 grueling races in just 5 weeks' time. But I think what is going to make it most difficult for Sunday Silence today is the presence of Easy Goer in the field, the horse that took him to the mat in the Preakness Stakes. Also, it's a fascinating race. These two arch rivals will break side by side from the starting gate, just like Affirmed and Aladar did back in 1978. It's a fascinating race. Strategy-wise, not much speed is in the race. There are 7 fresh horses, 7 horses that did not endure the grind of the Kentucky Derby and the Preakness as well. And the distance, 1.5 miles. Who knows whether Sunday Silence can do it? That's why they run horse races. Let's take a look at the field for the 121st running of the Belmont Stakes. Easy Goer, he'll break from post position number 7. He's coupled with stablemate Awe-Inspiring, who won the Jersey Derby. Long shot, Irish Actor, and Imbibe. He's the fresh horse, passed both the Derby and the Preakness, and won impressively here in the Peter Pan. Triple Buck, that was the horse that delayed the start in the Kentucky Derby, wound up 9th that day. The long-winded Hawkster, he will love 1.5 miles coming from far out of it, as he does. Then Rock Point, who was 3rd, beaten 5 lengths in the Preakness. Sunday Silence, once again, he'll be breaking from post position number 6, right next to his arch rival. Interesting horse in Le Voyageur. He's never run in America. He has never raced on the dirt. Randy Romero rides this very well-bred horse. And rounding out the field, another long shot in Firemaker with Jerry Bailey.
Well, I've already got one news story. Sunday Silence, for the first time in this Triple Crown, is favored, as you saw. Those were current odds at 4-5, then the entry, and then Imbibe at 4-1. Well, the stage is set, including a perfect stage to run this race. But more on that to the winner's circle and Pete Axel.
Thank you, Chris. You know, you use the word miraculous to describe how this track is fast. But like most miracles, this one took a lot of hard work. Joe King, the track superintendent, took a look at the track this morning. It was a quagmire. He says, give me 8 hours, we'll have it fast. What do? They seal it, which is dragging a large flat surface behind a tractor, in effect a squeegee effect, getting the moisture out of it. Then they aerate it with a harrow or a rake behind another tractor and keep turning the soil over to give every bit of it more chance to dry out. Well, Joe King didn't even need the 8 hours. This track is fast, should be a great day. Back to you, Chris.
All right, thank you, Pete. Crowd estimated at some 65,000 at Belmont Park. That handled 9.5 million on track, 60 million across the nation on this classic race, the Belmont.
It's the Win 107 $25,000 Super Stakes giveaway. You want bucks? You want big bucks? Well, pick up your Super Stakes tickets today and listen to Birmingham's hottest FM, Win 107, in the $25,000 Super Stakes giveaway. There'll be daily slogans. Listen to Dave and Saphir in the morning to get the first one on Win 107. Money, money. You can get it on Win 107 in the $25,000 Super Stakes giveaway. Let's go to the islands.
Here's to you, America, from McGee Dodge, with the deals you need on the cars you want. Right now, McGee Dodge has 40 Dodge Daytonas in stock with 0% financing or $1,000 cash back. You get front-wheel drive, 2.5-liter engine, driver's side airbag, and the Dodge 770 protection plan. Or go for the excitement of a powerful Dodge Daytona Shelby and get $2,000 cash back. So here's to you, Birmingham, with the best financing, highest cash back, lowest price. McGee Dodge.
If you wanna go, call when you wanna call.
Get the lowest price ever at Radio Shack on the most powerful transportable cellular phone system. Just $7.99 when you sign up with Radio Shack's authorized cellular phone carrier.
Go where you wanna go.
There's nothing else to buy, and it's ready to go wherever you go.
Call when you wanna call.
Use in your car, or go portable and take it along. Radio Shack's complete transportable cellular phone system. Just $7.99 only at Radio Shack, the technology store.
Budweiser presents the greatest moments in horse racing history. The Jewels of the Triple Crown. A brand new video cassette written and narrated by Jim McKay and packed with rare and exclusive footage. The story of the Triple Crown, told for the 11 horses who have won it. You can now own the Jewels of the Triple Crown for only $19.98 plus $3 shipping and handling. To order your video, call 1-800-4ABC-VCR.
It's the ultimate endurance race. Get hourly updates throughout the 24 hours of Le Mans by calling 1-900-990-9000. Then watch the exciting finish Sunday morning live on ESPN.
Well, this big crowd on hand in a festive mood. Maybe crown a Triple Crown champion of 1989. With us now is Jerry McEwen. He is the president of the New York Racing Association and the former president of the Thoroughbred Racing Association. Jerry, it is a spectacular day for racing, and the Triple Crown has really got people excited about this sport.
You know, it's taken off, hasn't it? And in part, it's thanks to the TRA. It was at a TRA convention in 1982 that we formed Triple Crown Productions, and from that came the point system that we're using now to ensure pretty much that all these great horses continue on from the Derby to Preakness into the Belmont. That's created the excitement of today, and it really is an exciting day out here.
Well, there's been excitement all week, Jerry. Despite some weather problems, Horse Fair 2 has been a resounding success. It's great to see the family come out and really enjoy so many different activities, 25 breeds showcased.
Oh, it really has been great. You know, what we tried to do is two things. One is to bring the horse before the American public, because I think we're losing contact with the horse as a nation because they're just not in everyday life anymore. And the other thing is we wanted to create a festival surrounding the Belmont Stakes, just like they have in Louisville and in Baltimore. But New York's a big town, and you have to do something special to get attention, and horses are certainly special for New York. Most people in New York haven't seen a horse before in their lives. So we came up with this idea. It was an instant success when we tried it the first time last year. We made it bigger and better this year. Unfortunately, we had 5 consecutive days of rain, but I'll tell you, it was interesting seeing people sitting there with umbrellas enjoying it.
Jerry, thank you very much. Thanks for putting on such a great show, and everybody, the Triple Crown involved has been fantastic.
Great to have you here again, too. You're doing a good job for racing.
Thank you, Jerry. Jerry McEwen, the president of the New York Racing Association. Well, there's been so much speculated on, is there any speed in this race today? We had a chance to go inside the Daily Racing Forum to the past performances with Joe Hirsch and asked Joe, where's the speed? Is there any?
Plenty of speed, I believe. Sunday Silence is a very fast horse. He's set the pace in many of his earlier races. And, of course, Easy Goer is a very fast horse. He ran a mile here in New York in 1:32 and change this spring. One of the fastest miles ever run by a horse of any age. And I wouldn't be surprised if Le Voyageur doesn't show a little speed, not overpowering speed. But he blew out in 36, and he's obviously well-trained by Patrick Biancone. But, of course, going a mile and a half, you want to stress stamina. And there again, Sunday Silence, the Halo has been the sire of the classic winners. Alidar has been a very fine sire of classic winners. You can look in your past performances here and see the Temperance Hill, who won the Belmont in 1980, has a horse called Imbibe, who has a very good chance to make a showing this afternoon. And Irish Actor is another horse who is by a Belmont winner, Bold Forbes, and he's out of a mare by a Belmont winner, Stage Door Johnny. So he's got the real Belmont Stakes breeding. As for the Belmont itself, I'm looking for a wonderful horse race. Both Sunday Silence and Easy Goer have come up to the race so good. very rare for horses to participate in the Kentucky Derby and Preakness and not be drained physically and mentally by that experience. But these horses have rebounded well, speaks very well for their constitution, and I think they're ready to give us a great show this afternoon.
Well, this is more than a show. It is a war. That is the cartoon caricature of Peb showing easygoers Sunday silence as they bear down on each other, getting ready for this spectacular event. And, of course, all the top people in racing are here, and there you see in the stands in the white blouse behind the gentleman in the gray coat, that is Penny Tweedy, who just 16 years ago was holding her breath, wondering could Secretariat become a Triple Crown champion. Indeed, he did. We'll have a special feature on Secretariat a bit later in this program. Well, we mentioned war. Well, that's just what it is when it comes to the racetrack. We're going to go back to one of the war camps now. Earlier today, Tom Durkin, along with Pete Axum, with Shug McGahee.
Few horsemen have ever handled defeats and disappointments with as much grace as Shug McGahee has shown in the Derby and the Preakness this year. But Shug, it's still got to tear at you a little bit that easygoer didn't come quite up to the next Secretariat billing.
Well, sure it does. You know, I mean, that was we came into this thing trying to get something done. We didn't get it done. So, you know, it's disappointing. But we got one more to go, and hopefully we can get one out of the three.
When you go home last night and see it starting to pour again, do you start feeling maybe you're a little snake bit?
I felt like I was a little jinxed. When, you know, they said all week that it was going to move out here on Friday afternoon. I was walking back from the races after the 8th race yesterday, and it was raining as hard as it could. And then all the way home and all last night, it kept raining. But, you know, we'll just see what happens now.
Your wife, Mary Jane, of course, has been such a part of this team and is so crazy about this horse. How is she doing since giving birth to your latest son?
I think she's doing good. We brought her home a day earlier, and they said we could. She's a little bit beat up, but she's doing good, and the baby's doing real good. So, you know, she'll be all right here in a few days.
At Triple Crown time, as the spring grind goes on, of course, there's always rumors around stables. And one of the ones that I've heard, which to my mind is, I have no substantiation for, but some people have told me that you've been using increasing ultrasound on easygoer. Is that accurate?
No, I used the ultrasound machine when I was at Pimlico. Reason being is I'd always hosed him. I do it to most every horse here. And just for something to do, and when he had a little bit of a cracked heel down there, so of course we didn't want the water running through his over his legs, so I just used the ultrasound.
And coming up to this race, has he stood the grind pretty well?
I sure think so. He came back from the Preakness, and night he got back here, he ate right up, and he seemed to go, you know, trained forward ever since then. He's had 3 good works since then. His appearance to me looks great, and you know, I think his attitude and stuff is too.
Thank you, Axe. Pete talking earlier this morning with Shug McGahee. We've got Tom Durkin in the barn area earlier today also. He'll be visiting with Charlie Whittingham in just a few moments. You heard Shug make reference, though, to his concern about an off track. Well, that has disappeared now. It is a fast track, and a great job by the New York Racing Association ground crew here, led by Joe King. When we come back, we'll go back to the barn of Sunday Silence. Stay with us.
Most car accidents happen in a showroom. People buy the wrong car. They want a car as quick as a Saab, as roomy as a Saab, as safe as a Saab, as reasonably priced as a Saab. But they don't test drive a Saab. Don't buy the wrong car. Visit your Saab dealer for a test drive. It's fun, it's free, and there's no risk involved.
During the golden age of Rome, Caesar treated his guests to magical evenings. 2,000 years later, he still does. Caesar's Palace. Relive the legend.
Come be part of the tradition of excellence at Frank's Farms, Southland Division, Ocala, Florida. Frank's Farms makes available to the breeder with any budget the sire lines of Northern Dancer, Raisin Native, Leafard's Wish, Aladar, Sovereign Dancer, and Mr. Prospector. The Southland Division's 1,000-acre farm features a complete facility for breeding, boarding, breaking, and training. Be part of the tradition of one of America's leading thoroughbred owners, the multiple Eclipse Award-winning Frank's Farms, Southland Division, Ocala, Florida.
king of beer, so fresh, so true. For you, you got to taste this blood for you.
Here in High Point, North Carolina, what a wind-up to the third round of the Planters Pat Bradley International. Our tournament hostess on the 18th. She had just birdied 17. She needs this birdie to make it into the final round tomorrow. She joins 35 of the LPGA's best. 36 tee it up tomorrow for $62,500. So, join us for final round live coverage at 2 o'clock Eastern Time tomorrow here in High Point, North Carolina. Back to Chris Lincoln at Belmont.
Thank you, Jim, at the Pat Bradley International. Wrapping up golf, we're just getting started on our day of horse racing here on ESPN. We mentioned earlier Tom Durkin spent some time back in the barn area as he looked up the superstar at this event, the favorite right now for the Belmont Stakes and the Triple Crown, Sunday Silence.
Outside Barn 5, where Sunday Silence is stabled here at Belmont Park. They hope to put a Triple Crown on him later on this afternoon. And Charlie Whittingham, his trainer, he kind of got crowned himself yesterday. Charlie, what happened with Sunday Silence?
Oh, he got a little excited and reared up, but saw the cameras or something, and when he went up, he smacked me alongside the chops, so they were in pretty good shape.
Yeah, you got struck in the head. Could have been pretty serious, though. We can laugh about it now, but this was serious yesterday.
Well, it could have been, but it just happened to hit, and I'm hard-headed, so...
Well, sometimes it does pay to be hard-headed. Charlie Whittingham has saddled over 500 stakes winners, more than any man in history. And this Triple Crown, there's a lot of little bits of irony attached to it. How about this one? His first stakes winner was right here at Belmont Park. On this date, June 10, 36 years ago. Can you remember that?
I remember the race, but I didn't remember it was June 10th. It was 36. Well, this is my lucky day, June 10th. Then.
Yes, and your co-owner, Arthur Hancock, a man who certainly believes in superstition, will be glad to hear about that coincidence. Let's review the Preakness Stakes. What are your impressions of that race and of Easy Goer?
Well, I thought it was one of the best races you've seen all year and maybe in a long time, and I couldn't see that one had much excuse. They come down there head and head, and it was the bob of the head, and we got him.
Yeah, a lot of people think it's a two-horse race. Anybody else in there that you fear today?
Well, I never think there's a two-horse race, but these two have been much better than the rest of them in there. But you never know when you come to a race a mile and a half this time of the year, because you might catch one come in there that hadn't run through the Triple Crown and might be a little fresher as possible.
You're normally pretty reserved about predicting your horses, and you were pretty bold about Sunday Silence. You predicted he'd win the Derby, then the Triple Crown. Why Charlie Whittingham out of character with this horse?
Well, you've been watching him run. That's the reason why, and he's going to do the same thing today, I believe.
Okay, thank you, Charlie Whittingham, the trainer of Sunday Silence, who hopes to be the 12th Triple Crown winner this afternoon.
And now let's go from the master trainer, Charlie Whittingham, to a master handicapper, Andrew Beyer of the Washington Post. And to show how brilliant Andy is, last year, he coronated Easy Goer as the next Secretariat. Today, he likes Sunday Silence. He is disproving the famous line of race caller Clem McCarthy that it's impossible to lateral a horse. How do you do it, Andy?
Well, Pete, unlike some of us who could never let go of Houston, I think that I have been persuaded that, as great as Easy Goer was early in his career, he's exposed some legitimate shortcomings in the Derby and the Preakness. I really don't think he's a true distance horse. He was brilliant at a mile, but every time he's gone around two turns, I haven't been that impressed.
You do not expect another affirmed Alydar kind of matchup?
I think Sunday Silence is going to blow him away. I know a lot of people look at the Preakness result and see, one, it was very close, and two, make a lot of excuses for Easy Goer. But I thought that for Sunday Silence to get checked at a crucial stage of the race, make it up like that, and still win the race showed to me unequivocally he's better than Easy Goer, and I think at a mile and a half he's going to be a lot better.
Andy, a man who always sugarcoats his opinions and hides his true feelings, and he does have good opinions. He made one of the great scores of his life when Swale and Pine Circle won the Exacta here in the Belmont. He also once called Linkage the best bet in the history of Triple Crown racing. And how much did he lose by?
I recall it was 22 lengths or thereabouts.
Okay, thank you, Andy. Let's go back to Chris.
All right, thank you, Pete. And our fillies have come on the track. for our Hempstead Handicap. It's our live race, the 6th here at Belmont. That's coming up here on our Belmont Stakes special.
You're looking at an accident that never happened. Because as America's largest insurer for workers' compensation, Liberty Mutual has done more to help prevent injuries on the job than any other insurance company. Caring for people is why America believes in liberty.
Great view, huh?
America believes in liberty. Liberty Mutual Insurance.
Where you wanna go, call when you wanna call.
Get the lowest price ever at Radio Shack on the most powerful transportable cellular phone system. Just $7.99 when you sign up with Radio Shack's authorized cellular phone carrier.
Go where you wanna go.
There's nothing else to buy, and it's ready to go wherever you go.
Call when you wanna call.
Use in your car, or go portable and take it along. Radio Shack's complete transportable cellular phone system. Just $7.99 only at Radio Shack, the technology store.
New Domino's Pan Pizza. Nobody delivers better.
Budweiser presents the greatest moments in horse racing history. The Jewels of the Triple Crown. A brand new video cassette written and narrated by Jim McKay and packed with rare and exclusive footage. The story of the Triple Crown, told for the 11 horses who have won it. You can now own the Jewels of the Triple Crown for only $19.98 plus $3 shipping and handling. To order your video, call 1-800-4ABC-BCR.
I used pressure-treated lumber and still have expensive water damage. Why?
Even treated wood needs Thompson's Water Seal. It penetrates to protect wood, brick, and concrete from water damage. Thompson's the first name in lasting protection.
Welcome back to Elmont, New York, the home of Belmont Park, America's beautiful racetrack here, one of the largest in the nation. With me is Billy Reed, our special correspondent, has some real insightful reports for us during the Triple Crown Series. President of the National Turf Riders Association, a contributor to Sports Illustrated, and a longtime friend of Arthur Hancock.
I certainly am, Chris, and I think of all the great stories involved with Sunday Silence, I think Arthur Hancock is the most interesting. Of course, he was being groomed to take over the great Claiborne farm in 1972 when his father, Bull Hancock, died. The advisors finally decided, though, to give that job to his younger brother, Seth. Arthur decided to leave and start his own operation, and it was really a painful decision for him.
Well, Billy Reed spent some time at Stone Farm with his friend Arthur Hancock to relive some of those moments. Let's go now to that interview, starting with the painful decision to leave Claiborne Farm.
I remember I drove out the drive, you know, and I was sort of teary-eyed, and I thought maybe, you never know if you're making a mistake or what, because you don't know really what you're going to do. And I went to a telephone booth in town there, I remember, and called Paul Sullivan, my buddy, lawyer up in Lexington, and told him I was heading down to Hall's on the river. And so he met me down there, and we ate supper, and I was drowning my sorrows, and about midnight I told him, I said, he couldn't believe it. He said, well, you're just worthless, you know. You just want to be a playboy and you raise a cane. And he couldn't understand it, and I said, I'll tell you something, Sullivan. I said, one of these days I'm going to win the Kentucky Derby, and I'll be bigger than Claiborne. He said, waitress, bring this fool another Budweiser.
His own farm, known as the Stone Farm, was right next door to Claiborne, which meant that Arthur never lacked for incentive. It was as hard for him to get over his bitterness as it was to build his own operation from the bottom up.
I'll say early on, you know, that I was bitter for about 10 years, but I think when I won the Derby with Gato del Sol, I was able to pick my head up a little bit and say, well, you're not so bad after all, you know, and I felt like I'd come up some in the world. And it's sort of the bitterness and the hurt. It's more of a hurt, really. Hurt my feelings, but it vanished away. And as it turned out, I mean, all things work out for the best.
Even after arriving as a breeder, however, Arthur was an uneasy member of the racing establishment. He continued to write and perform the country songs that his father hated, but he always realized that music would play second fiddle to the horses.
You really can't do two things and do either one of them well. And once you take that path and you trudge on it long enough, you're committed. And that's, and I'm glad I took this path.
That path has been paved mainly by hard work and talent, but Hancock also believes strongly in lucky omens. After finding good ones before both the Kentucky Derby and Preakness, he now thinks he has one for the Belmont.
Well, 3 birds have slammed into my office window. Now, they have. That's a fact, again. Now, what that means, I don't know. It may be coincidence. I interpret it as a good omen, as good luck.
If he's right, then Sunday Silence will become racing's 12th Triple Crown winner this afternoon. That's something Bull Hancock never accomplished. And Arthur, the one-time playboy, can hear his father's words.
He'd say, don't get too carried away, Bud. He called me Bud. He said, now, if you win this Triple Crown, you get down there and pay off some of those notes.
Arthur Hancock, his lovely wife, Stacy, there, and the white and the polka dots there. And you know she's got to be a little bit nervous right now. Well, Billy, so close to Arthur, what are his plans with this horse down there? Will he run him next year, do you think?
I think he will. Even though if he wins the Triple Crown, Chris, his value will be enhanced. Arthur Hancock is a great sportsman. I know he wants to run him as a 4-year-old, and I really look for him, too. I think he really wants to give something back to the sport.
Billy, thank you much. Good report.
My pleasure, Chris. Thank you.
Billy Reed. And, of course, we're getting ready for the Hempstead Handicap. It is a handicap for fillies and mares 3 and up. They'll go 1 1/8 miles for $200,000. We'll set the field when we come back.
Another Breeders' Cup championship moment. At sunny Santa Anita, the best horses from around the globe came to run in the world's richest grass race, the $2 million Breeders' Cup Turf. No American horse had ever won this event until Manila, blocked on the rail, got clear and unleashed a furious rally.
They're coming to the wire, and it's theatrical. Manila coming after him, and yes, Manila gets there.
For a jubilant Jose Santos and a determined Manila, this was their Breeders' Cup championship moment.
For a nice cold Bud?
Then where does she come from?
A dream is born. And with care and attention, discipline and freedom, the dream begins to come alive. Share the dream. Let thoroughbred racing come alive for you.
If you've worked hard for what you have, you understand how we feel.
I'm driving this time.
No, I am. We've reached the point where we can be comfortable and enjoy life.
But you took it yesterday.
But you had it all last week. That's why we chose the comfort of a Ford compact diesel tractor.
You mean that's why I chose the comfort of a Ford? Besides, I have the key.
See the complete line of comfortable ones at your Ford New Holland dealer.
Live at Belmont, where we're getting ready to run the Hempstead Handicap, the 6th race on the program. Let's take a look at the field for this filly and mare race, 3 and up, going 1 1/4 miles. Make change at 11 to 1 with Chris Antley. Top account at 20 to 1. Colonial Waters 4 to 1 has Jose Santos. Finishing up this field now, Honolulu Honey at 14, Rose's Cantina at 6 to 1. And the superstar, the 6th horse, Banker's Lady, and she has been a perfect filly on the dirt axe. Nobody's beaten her on a main track surface.
Yes, unusual. She's bred for turf, and the only defeat of her life in 9 starts was a 2nd place finish on turf. She's by Nijinsky, but she loves the dirt, and she's a grand-looking mare. I can't see anybody fooling with her today.
Well, she almost got beaten a race earlier this year. We'll take a look right now. She's on the outside. This is Banker's Lady. Colonial Waters on the inside. This is the Top Flight Handicap on April 23rd. Pete, she was life and death to get there after a slow pace.
Yes, well, Colonial Waters was allowed to set a very slow pace, but I don't think that'll happen today. You got Alan Jerkins with a speed horse called Top Account, who I think will probably outrun Colonial Waters, and a different kind of race today.
Well, she won by 2 in the Chevy, as you see. The stakes and then the track record here at Belmont Park for the 1 1/8 miles. It's the Hempstead Handicap. Fillies and mares, let's go to the top of the stands. Tom Durkin will make the call of this Grade 1 event.
And they're a long way away for the grandstand here at Belmont Park. Only racetrack in America where you can run a one-turn 1 1/8 race. They'll run almost 5 furlongs before they hit that first and only turn of this race. One more to load there, and that will be Banker's Lady. A short price here, odds on at 1 to 5 as she's in the starting gate. And a field of 6 in the gate. All standing in good order at this point. And they're off. Banker's Lady broke in perfect stride and make changes there toward the inside. Topicon is fast, and Cordero will put Banker's Lady on the lead now as they leave the chute and head for the backstretch. And make changes now, second on the inside. Colonial Waters now is edging up into third position on the outside. Jean-Luc Samine steadies Topicon in between horses in hand, racing in fourth. There's a gap of 3 to Long Shot, Honolulu Honey, and a gap of 5 back to the late running Rose's Cantina. She's allowed to settle into an easy early gallop. It's Cordero now with Banker's Lady. He's going to get some pressure here from Colonial Waters, and those two now are at it head-to-head as they continue up the backstretch. The first quarter went in 23 1/5 seconds. So it's Colonial Waters and Banker's Lady, and those two are now going stride for stride, and the tempo is quickening now as the field heads for the far turn. They've run a half in 46 1/5 seconds. Farther back, Make Change is kept close within striking distance, third toward the inside. Top Account has yet to do her best running on the outside, now racing in fourth. Then farther back, Rose's Cantina is beginning to kick in. They hooked up down the backstretch, and they're still at it. Colonial Waters now has taken the lead. It's Colonial Waters in front by 3/4 of a length, and Cordero asking Banker's Lady for everything she has now, and Make Changes putting in a run, and here comes Rose's Cantina with the sweeping 4-wide move as the field now comes to the top of the stretch. 3/4 and 10 4. Rose's Cantina sweeping toward the lead. Make Changes steadied in behind horses. Colonial Waters is there, and Banker's Lady is now faded to fourth. They're coming to the final furlong, and it's Rose's Cantina pouring it on here, opening up by 3, and Rose's Cantina by 5 as they come down to the finish. And on the outside, it's Make Change and Colonial Waters. Rose's Cantina is going to win it here in an upset. Scores by 7 lengths, and then it was Make Change and Colonial Waters in a very disappointing effort by Banker's Lady, her first defeat on the main track, and the final time here was 1:48 3. Chris, back to you.
Thank you, Tom. It's the team of Carl Icahn, the owner, Leroy Jolly, the trainer, and Jean Cruguet, the rider, as Rose's Cantina pulls off the big upset in the Hempstead Handicap, this Grade 1 event there. The first time Banker's Lady has been beaten on dirt in her career. As you take a look at the 5-horse, the unofficial winner of the Hempstead Handicap, Rose's Cantina.
The $25,000 cash countdown is here. Yes, Alabama, the winning feeling has gone wild at the Birmingham Racecourse. Listen to this. $500 will be given away every night through June 22nd. Just fill out the countdown entry blank and you could win $500 each and every night. More good news. $25,000 will be given away June 22nd from all tickets received. What? A $2,000 bonus if the winner is present at the drawing. The track is back with even more ways to win big bucks.
Hello, I'm Stuart Kirby, President and General Manager of Sarah Toyota. Our grand opening celebration is now through Monday. You can save on over 300 Toyota cars, trucks, and vans, plus special financing. For example, during our grand opening celebration, you can own the new Toyota of your choice with approved credit for only $79 down and $79 per month for the remainder of 1989. So visit us during Sarah Toyota's grand opening celebration on Centerpoint Parkway, where we always save you more money.
You're looking at an auto accident that never happened, because Liberty Mutual Insurance continually searches to prevent auto accidents and injuries. In helping to pioneer safety belts, we helped make driving safer for everyone. Caring for people is why America believes in liberty.
Almost home.
America believes in liberty. Liberty Mutual Insurance.
New Domino's Pan Pizza. Nobody delivers better.
NASCAR drivers challenge one of the most difficult, unpredictable road courses in the country. See the inaugural Banquet 300 from Sears Point International Raceway, Sunday afternoon live on ESPN.
Well, Rose's Cantina had finished behind Banker's Lady in her last 2 efforts here. Second by 2 1/4 in the Shuby. Fourth by 6 lengths in the top flight. But she turned it around today. And as Leroy Jolly went out to check his filly, Banker's Lady was coming back with Angel Cordero, the heavy favorite here, and received boos from the crowd at Belmont Park on her first defeat on the main track. Let's take a look now, a closer look at this race with Tom Durkin.
At this point, Banker's Lady was dueled into defeat by Colonial Waters, who is there to the inside. And between horses, Make Change, and on the outside, the eventual winner, Rose's Cantina. The pace was pretty fast, but not absurdly so. 46-3 for the half mile. Rose's Cantina making a sweeping move there. Now there you see Make Change. I think she might have shied away from the whip of Colonial Waters. Now we have an inquiry up here. We have an inquiry on the board. More about that in just a second. As we see Rose's Cantina now cup galloping on home. Finishing second will be Make Change, and winding up third will be Colonial Waters. But we do have an inquiry here. Chris, let's take it back to you.
All right, thank you very much, Tom. And the inquiry sign is up. The light is blinking. That is the 5 that's blinking on the tote board, and that's the 5 you see right there on the saddlecloth of the winner, Rose's Cantina. An inquiry indicates the stewards are taking a closer look at this one. We're going to take a break, see if we can find out what they're looking at for you. The Hempstead Handicap is not official. Hold all tickets. We'll be back.
It's just a pure and natural beer for you. So icy cold, so crisp, so clear for you.
Of all the beers that are cold filtered, only one has that distinctively clean, crisp taste. Budweiser, cold filtered and Beechwood aged for over 110 years.
It covers 3,000 acres. It includes a 1,200-acre game preserve stocked with trophy, native, and exotic wildlife. More than 1,000 acres of irrigated pastures fed by the Nueces River and Espantosa Creek. Something this big, this unique, could only be offered in Texas. Presenting for sale the Crawford Farms of Carrizo Springs, Emmett County, Texas, 115 miles southwest of San Antonio. For those big enough to dream and plan for Texas pari-mutuel racing, Crawford Farms is potentially the finest equine breeding and training facility in the world. Included is a 65,000 square foot indoor arena, along with mare and stud barns and 100 stalls. The centerpiece is this luxurious Spanish-style stucco estate that stretches the length of a football field. Crawford Farms, offered at $16 million, including all mineral rights, equipment, home furnishings, art, and gun collections. Brokers will be protected. Crawford Farms, for those big enough to dream.
Some heart problems are difficult to detect. But this machine is making a difference. It lets doctors see inside even the littlest hearts to provide the treatment that saves lives. This kind of innovation is typical of Siemens, where our 23 coast-to-coast research and development centers for electronics and electrical engineering are helping to take steps toward a better tomorrow. We are Siemens.
As you see, the inquiry sign is still up on the board for the Hempstead Handicap. As you look at Leroy Jolly, hoping his Rose's Cantina, the 5-horse. He talks to rider Jean Cruguet about what happened. Why is there an inquiry sign up? Well, Chris Hatley just walked by us. He's the rider on the 1-horse, Make Change. He said, I file. Let's see if we can find out why. Tom Durkin?
Coming to the top of the stretch here, Make Changes in between horses and will steady in behind Rose's Cantina and Colonial Waters. However, that's going to be a moot point as they have taken down the inquiry sign and made it official. But let's look at it anyway. I think that Make Change shied away from the whip here of Colonial Waters. Take a look. This is when she shied away right back and took back in behind Rose's Cantina. The claim of foul was disallowed, and the results stand. Rose's Cantina wins the Hempstead.
All right, thank you, Tom. And just they went there. They took it down as you take a look at Rose's Cantina. Being led into the winner's circle, Jean Cruguet, the rider, 33 lifetime starts, 8, 6, and 4, the record before this race. As you see the payoff, $16.60 for the win on that 7-to-1 choice, $6.60 and $20.40 for this show. And that just tells you the bridge jumpers are out in New York. They loaded up on the third spot. $10.60 and $37 for Make Change, the 1-horse. And then Colonial Waters, 1920, a 5-1 exacta, gets $140.60 back. You look at Jean Cruguet there, one of the outstanding riders in the nation. Well, just part of the excitement here at Belmont Park, and as I mentioned earlier for you, it is, hold on just a second here, this is going like crazy here. Let me get straightened out here for this very important introduction. Secretariat, of course, is one of the classic stories of American racing. I have to do this right. Let's go to Tom Durkin now for our Secretariat special feature.
Triple Crown races are the stuff that memories are made of. And this spring on Racing Across America, we've been taking a little stroll down memory lane back to 1973 with our retrospective series on the great Secretariat. And today we present our final part in that series. And when you talk about racing memories, no memory is more vivid, none more exhilarating than the day that Belmont Park was ablaze with glory, the day that Secretariat won the Triple Crown.
In the 3 weeks between the Preakness and the Belmont, Secretariat transcended sports and became a national phenomenon. Appearing on the covers in the same week of Time, Newsweek, and Sports Illustrated, Penny Tweedy remembers all the attention and all the pressure.
It just was every day, one more day until race day. I had no idea whether or not he could do it, but I knew that he would be as fit as Lucian could possibly make him, and that he had grown intellectually, and he was mentally much more professional an athlete than he had been earlier, say, in the Wood. And so I felt that everything was right for it, but we had still to do it.
Everybody's in line, and they're off. Looks like the early lead goes to Mike Gallant. Yes, Mike Gallant going for the lead with Price and Prince on the outside. Secretariat away very well, has good position on the rail, and in fact is now going up with the leader. They're moving for the first turn. It is Secretariat. Sham on the outside is also moving along strongly, and now it's Sham. Sham and Secretariat are right together into the first turn. Mike Gallant has third.
I was afraid when Sham went with him that this was going to be the time that Sham was going to get his revenge, and a little part of me said, go for it, Sham, because I had great respect for Sham and felt really sorry that he happened to have raced the same year as Secretariat, because he's a wonderful horse. But then Sham did draw back, and then I was just in awe. I couldn't believe that he was just going on, and I keep hearing in my mind Chick Anderson's call. Secretariat is moving like a tremendous machine. He's out there all alone.
Secretariat is widening now. He is moving like a tremendous machine. Secretariat by 12. Secretariat by 14 lengths on the turn. Sham is dropping back. It looks like they'll catch him today, as Mike Gallant and Price of Prince are both coming up to him now. But Secretariat is all alone. He's out there almost a 16th of a mile away from the rest of the horses. Secretariat is in a...
Lucian and I were side by side, and suddenly Lucian said, oh my God, Ronnie, just don't fall off. Don't fall off. Don't fall off.
They're in the stretch. Secretariat has opened a 22-length lead. He is going to be the Triple Crown winner. Here comes Secretariat to the wire. An unbelievable, an amazing performance. He hit...
Officially, it was 31 lengths. Secretariat had just smashed the world record for the mile-and-a-half 2:24 flat. He was racing's 9th Triple Crown winner, the first in 25 years. And Secretariat came along just when we all needed him the most. 1973 was a difficult year, the time of Nixon, of Watergate, and of the Vietnam War. The country needed a hero, and here was this red horse in blue and white silks, a red, white, and blue hero for America.
We got, I don't know, maybe 3,000 letters addressed to Secretariat, and I had to, Secretariat had a secretary who would answer his fan mail. And everybody wanted to touch base with this wonderful horse.
There have been other thoroughbreds who have won more races, more money, and more championships, that have even won Triple Crowns. But we asked Penny Tweedy why Secretariat is still the standard by which all great race horses are measured.
I don't know. He has charisma. He's got sex appeal. I know we tend to personalize animals we love, but I do think he's still just trying to do his best.
The best is what Secretariat represents, and his spirit has been enshrined forever in this bronze statue in the paddock at Belmont Park in New York. When it was unveiled, prominent horseman Paul Mellon said, "Secretariat belongs to history, to the romance of the turf, and he belongs to the people."
It has been a true labor of love. I want to thank so many people to help us in this four-part series. Bill Knack did an outstanding job with the article on Secretariat in his fine book. CBS Sports, Del Park Video, and Naira, Skip Dickstein for his photograph of Secretariat. And thanks to Penny Tweedy and to Big Red. Let's go down now to Pete Axel.
Chris, I'm standing with real power here. Leva and Carl Icahn, their advisor Rob Whiteley in the horse business. And this, we didn't know at the racetrack that you might be taking over some things around here.
No, I'm not taking over anything. We were just real lucky to win it because Leroy did a good job. Rob did a good job picking it up. My wife believed in her a lot more than I did. I made her take $100 back on the bet because I didn't think she'd win it.
You live obviously in a famous business fast lane. How does this compare? Is this more fun, or is it a similar kind of excitement?
Well, there's a lot of excitement when you come. I don't spend much time with it, but you know, every once in a while it's a lot of fun to get into. We do more breeding than racing, actually. So this was just a lucky extra for us.
Well, it's a pleasure to have you all on, and thank you. And let's go back to Chris.
Thank you very much. You see, Rose's Cantina, bred by Tom Gentry in Kentucky, owned by Carl Icahn. For this purse, he'll win about $130,000. Just what Mr. Icahn needs. Back in a moment.
What do you have? Give me 2 pizza puffs, chili dog. Excuse me. Gus. 1 minute. Sorry. Give me 2 pizza puffs, a chili dog, a large.
Hey, Lord.
Gus, I told you, to be hot dog kings, we need lots of Bud Light. Not Bull Light?
If you want the one light that outshines them all, ask for Bud Light.
Now what do you think?
It's beautiful.
Because everything else is just a light.
Hey, what about my pizza puffs?
For more than 4 decades, the Keeneland Thoroughbred Sales have produced a parade of classic winners, including 39 American champions. Horses purchased at Keeneland have won all of the classic races worldwide and the richest prizes in thoroughbred racing. 1988 champions Winning Colors, Risen Star, and Ali Sheba all were bought at the Keeneland Sales in Lexington, Kentucky, source of the classic horse.
In the splendor of his palace, Caesar treated his guests to spectacular battles between champion gladiators. 2,000 years later, he still does. Caesar's Palace. Relive the legend.
You love to win the way I do? This is the place to be. Exarban.
Attention horsemen. Exarban presents the $200,000 guaranteed Cornhusker Handicap. The 24th running of this 1 1/8 mile Grade 2 stakes race for 3-year-olds and up will be held Saturday, July 29th. Nominations for the Cornhusker Handicap close Wednesday, July 19th. For information, call Larry Kraft, Racing Secretary at Exarban, 402-556-2305.
Just a little over an hour away from the running of the 121st Belmont Stakes, Sunday Silence remains a strong 4-5 favorite here to win the Triple Crown. You know about the favorites. What about a long shot? The Budweiser Belmont Long Shot.
The alert viewer may have noticed that I have not had great success this year handicapping the Triple Crown. So this time around, for my long shot, I turn to a little aid from somebody who really knows, Angel Cordero Jr.
And this is my Budweiser long shot, Imbibe. I loved this horse in January 14 when I first rode him for Timmy. I thought he got the potential to win the Belmont. He's got a very strong finish. He loves mud, and he's a very improved horse. I love his race in the Wither, even so I didn't ride him. He carried 126. He was muddy track, only a mile, and he only missed by 3/4 of a length. Then we came back and got together in the Peter Pan, and he put up one of the fastest 8 to the mile I ever saw on a horse. He was blocked from the quarter pole to the 8 pole, and I was forced to ride him early, and when he finally saw daylight, he showed me what I always been looking for him. A lot of ability and a lot of potential. I love him. And if you win the Belmont like your father Temperance Hill did, this butt for you.
So there's 2 of us handicappers who agree that Imbibe is the long shot to watch today. But before you put too much faith in me and Angel, remember, we also loved Houston at the same time. Back to you, Chris.
All right, Pete, thank you much. Well, to really know what's going to happen in the Belmont Stakes, you ought to go to the source. The Woodman, Woody Stevens. He won 5 consecutive Belmonts. Woody, who do you like?
I've been an Easy Gore fan. And, of course, when Mud came up in Louisville, I backed away. But I bet on him in the Preakness. And, of course, Charlie's horse, I didn't know that much about him. But I found out one thing. I don't think he's a great horse, but I think he's a very game horse. They've got to beat him.
With me now is Johnny Campo. He trained Pleasant Colony to victories in the Kentucky Derby and the Preakness in 1981, but not in the Belmont Stakes. Had to be a tough day, Johnny.
Part of the game, right?
I guess so. You didn't think you could go the distance really now, do you?
No, going in the race, I really, truly didn't think he can go this far. You know, really, he wasn't really bred to go this far, you know. But finished 3rd, better than 4th.
By just a length and a half, by the way, to Summing and Highland Blade. John, your perspective now on the Belmont Stakes. Who do you like and why?
Well, you can't get away from Sunday Silence. He's really, you know, they've had a lot of shots to beat this horse, you know, and he's really come up to race good. If I was to pick a horse to beat him, I'd say Spire, he might be the tough horse, but it's hard to go beyond him. You know, all these horses tried him, and why should he get beat? You say so, why should he get beat? He won a mile and a quarter, he was drawn off. Won a mile, come back, won a mile 3/16, and he was getting drawn off the last part of it, so why should he get beat, yeah?
All right, Johnny Campo's pick is Sunday Silence. How about the experts? Let's go down to the winner's circle again.
We use that term very loosely. Well, this, quote, experts pick will be Sunday Silence, partly an emotional pick because I'd like to see a Triple Crown winner. But neither horse in the Preakness had a perfect trip, but they looked hooked up at the top of the stretch. Sunday Silence was a nose best. I think if they ran around one more time, Sunday Silence would still win. And?
Well, I'm going to disagree with you, of course, partly because Sunday Silence is such a short price. But I think the modern history of the Triple Crown indicates that only great horses win it. A horse that took 27 seconds to win the last quarter of the Derby, I can't consider a great horse. He may have a great trainer. He may be doing very well. I think he's going to get beat today. My betting strategy is the Easy Goer entry and Imbibe in exactas.
All right. Well, that's the outlook from here, Mr. Lincoln. Back to you.
Thank you, Tom. Thank you, Axe. And let's take a look at the latest odds for the Belmont Stakes. The 8th race here, just over an hour away now. Easy Goer on-spiring at 3-1. Irish Actor at 21. Imbibe the Bud Long Shot bet down to 4. Triple Buck, a high price at 21-1. Hawkster at 26, Rock Point at 16. Sunday Silence is open and is still the 4-5 favorite. La Voyager at 19-1. Firemaker at 24-1. This also is about a Triple Crown bonus. You see the bonus points at this point: 5 for first, 3 for second, 2 for third. To this point, Sunday Silence has 10, Easy Goer 6. Easy Goer must win to get the $1 million bonus. Sunday Silence will have to finish off the board for him to do that. Sunday Silence could win with purses and bonus money, $5 million today, when ABC brings you the Belmont Stakes next. For our next telecast, the Ohio Derby, next Saturday, 5 to 6 Eastern Time. Hope you'll join us then, and hope you enjoyed from Belmont Park today, our Belmont Stakes special on ESPN. Brought to you this afternoon by Budweiser, Beechwood Age, for that clean, crisp taste, this Bud for you. By the Thoroughbred Racing Association, assuring the highest racing standards. By Caesar's Palace, relive the legend. The Breeders' Cup, racing's $10 million championship. By Keeneland, source of the classic horse. Our charts and statistics provided courtesy of the Daily Racing Form, America's Turf Authority. This has been an ESPN Sports presentation. Stay tuned for ABC's exclusive coverage of the 121st Belmont Stakes. Will Sunday Silence be racing's 12th Triple Crown winner? Will he wear the crown after this day is over? We'll see in just a matter of a little over an hour. Thanks for joining us at Belmont Park. So long, everyone.
United
United Airlines. From the ground up, rededicated to giving you the service you deserve. Come fly the friendly skies.